Hello, Number World teachers. I am going to walk you through your online resources that you have available in your Number World Teacher Edition. So I have quite a bit of content on my ConnectEd screen here, but you're going to look for your Number World Teacher Edition. Go ahead and click into that, and that will launch your main dashboard here. The first thing to notice is the labels in this red taskbar. Those are the ones you're going to be using the majority of the time. First, let's go to Resources. In the Resources tab, you have access to all of the digital resources by category right here. So let's say we want our Teacher's Editions. I'll go ahead and click on that, and then I'll open up the Teacher's Edition level that I'm working in. Once that opens up, this is an ebook, so I'll show you a couple quick navigation tips for the ebook. On the left-hand side, you can go to the table of contents, so that'll take you to any particular week or lesson that you're working in. You navigate from page to page by clicking on the arrows on the side. Now, once you're on this page, we can also look at just one page at a time, which sometimes is a little bit easier to see. And then we'll click on the magnifying glass and we can zoom in as well. Now, this is your particular teacher ebook, and you can see I have a couple things on the side here. Those are actually sticky notes that I've left for myself. So to put a sticky note on the page, you'll just click right up here, and then you can type in whatever you'd like and post that note. I'm back on the main dashboard, and you notice that when I opened up that Teacher's Edition, it opens up in a new tab or window depending on your browser. When I come back to the main dashboard, if I want to get back to the main screen, I can always click on the Number Worlds logo, and that will take me back to this page. So we've looked at resources. That's one way to access all of your online content. Another way to access the content is by lesson, and I think you're really going to like this one. So we'll go to Manage and Assign and Lesson Plans. And now I'll select the level that I'm working in right in this drop-down menu. And now I can also choose if I'm working in a 30, 45, or 60-minute lesson plan. I actually like to keep it on 60 minutes because it shows all of the different resources available. And you'll see what I mean once I scroll down the screen here. So I have the lesson in general, and now I have every single digital resource that is connected to that lesson. So I have my Teacher's Editions, which we just looked at, but I also have those activity cards linked right here, which we know we have to have for that engage portion of the lesson. So I can just launch that asset. Again, that's going to open up in a new tab or window, depending on your browser. And here's that activity card for that specific lesson. So I'm going to go down to one page here, and then I can zoom in a little bit, and I can see that particular activity. One thing to note in the program materials, all of these items, the neighborhood number line, number cards, pawns, those are all available in your virtual manipulatives, which you'll see in a different video. This item, however, these monster cards, that's something that is a blackline master, and that's noted by the little notebook on the side. Those are actually available back on the main screen that we were on. So this was the Teacher's Edition, right? Manage and Assign and Lesson Plans. And you'll see when I scroll down that page, there are those monster cards that I would need for that lesson. Now, if we're in a remote learning environment, we may need to adapt a little bit by looking at that activity card, seeing if we can use something in place of that, because we won't necessarily be able to have that in physical form for our students. Here I am back on the main dashboard of Number Worlds, and I want to show you a couple other digital resources that you have access to and that you can actually assign to your students. So one of those is the interactive component, the Building Blocks game. Now this is explicitly stated in the lesson plan which game is connected to the lesson, but also just listed right here for you. In order to assign that, we just need to click on the wheel, and we'll go with Assign This Resource. That actually makes it into an assignment so the student sees it on his or her site. So I'm just going to say Practice Game and give them some directions. Please complete. When you scroll down the page, you'll see any students in that class, and you can select any of the students in particular or all of the students. You'll see the resource linked on the side, and then you'll just click Assign. Okay. Now, once I've done that, that puts it on the student account, and so the student can now go in and complete that. The other resource that you can assign to students is the student workbook. So we're going to do that the exact same way that we would a game. We'll just go down to the wheel and assign this resource. That will create an assignment. We can just call it Student Workbook. Now this sends the students the e-workbook, so the entire content. We need to make sure we tell them what pages to complete. So please complete pages 6 through 7. Okay. Again, you can select the student or students. That asset is linked right here, and you'll click Assign. So now the student will have that available on his or her account. Now that student can annotate that workbook just like you can annotate any ebook using the pen feature or using the sticky note. And when they do that, you can actually see those annotations. So let's go back and open up that resource. And on your teacher side of things, we'll go to pages 6 and 7, what we asked that student to complete. Now we'll go up to this icon. It's a little person with a wheel, right? That's how we assigned things. So we want to look at those assignments. I click on that person. I'll click on the class and the student. And if the student has made any annotations, those will appear right here. So the student put some answers using the pen, and they also left me a sticky note with answers. So this is a great way for you to assign a digital resource and see the students' annotations on those pages very easily. You could also write something on that page for the student or leave a sticky note yourself. Great job, all are correct. And the student will see that when they open up their workbook again. So we have looked at how you can access your resources and also how you can assign resources to students. Now, the other things I want you to note in this top taskbar are the math tools and games and the professional development. The math tools and games are those virtual manipulatives that you can use to support your activity card lessons. There's also the specific interactive differentiation that tells you how to use those math tools in connection to the lesson. So when I click on that, it's going to open up in a new tab. And we can go to Browse All, and we can also go into that workspace. There's a whole separate video on this, so I'm not going to take any more time on that. But remember that that is in the red taskbar here. And then the last thing is the professional development. The professional development has a lot of great resources that you can go to that are specifically detailed for what you're looking for. So for example, let's say I need to know more about those math tools and games. I can come right here and check out the video on those math tools. I really encourage you to use your professional development site because of all of the great information that is available there for you.